Welcome back to my Minecraft world, forever world thing. I still haven't gotten an intro, but today is episode 8, and that means expansion. But by that, I also mean we're just going to be building out this area. So today, we have some plans. First, we're going to extend this. Not really extend, because we're going to try to like pretend that this part specifically ends here, because I want to make an actual path just kind of going through here. Then we're going to work on these 3 houses and also work on the mine shaft over here. I have some really cool ideas for all the stuff here. These are going to be practically not identical houses, but they're going to be really similar, so it kind of looks like, I don't know how to describe it, but it will look cool. But that's also not all we're doing today, because I really need fireworks to actually be able to use this elytra. And right now, I don't have an easy source of them. All my paper comes from this little like string of sugarcane that I have to manually harvest, and all my gunpowder comes from random killings of creepers I find. So we're gonna change that today, and that's gonna also be the first thing we do today. Yes, indeed, we're making a creeper farm. Now, I might or might not, I still haven't decided, just kind of steal the design from Mumbo Jumbo of the like snow. There's gonna be like a snow golem that aggroes different creepers, and that I'm just looking to quickly get this done, as I want to get this video out as soon as possible, and I have a very big workload for this episode. So if I can get that done and then get a semi-done sugarcane farm where the sugarcane farm is done but the actual build itself isn't, then, and I can touch up on the builds for both of them at a later date, then that would be good. So in order to start, let's go gather some materials. I would like to show a cool mod that I found. It's called, it's on the screen because I forgot. But look at it. This honestly feels like what shaders should be. It's similar to the Better Clouds mod, where they add something that makes the world look so much better. But it's like, it's not actually separate from Minecraft. Like, this feels like something Minecraft would have, right? And it looks even better in the desert. If I ever go over there, you can see it. Oh, and in plains, this is what it looks like. Also, really good. I love this mod. I'm so glad I found it. The funny thing is that it was just a video that was recommended to me on YouTube, wherever. But still, this mod is really cool. Back to the main subject though, amethyst. So far, we're gonna go gambling. So we're just gonna line this up and get our Fortune 3 pickaxe. So I'm shooting for 16 total stacks. I know I can't get it from this, but this is our first thing of the harvest of the geode down there, which I will be making a bubble column to in a second. So let's go. I don't even know if Fortune actually affects this now I think about it. But still, that's actually pretty good-ish. I still need 14 more stacks. So, that's going to be annoying. Good thing, though, I'm going to start making those bubble columns right now. Alright, I am back from some amethyst mining, so time to set this up and see how many I get. Alright, now time to switch to the fortune pick, which apparently I kept in my ender chest. Hopefully this is enough and I don't have to go back out and get more. Oh, also, while I was down there, I gathered some tuff. I'm probably going to gather more, so I have more than enough. But right now, you're seeing the time lapse in that bottom right corner. So, I actually am starting something new with that kind of stuff. I do want to start using that, like, time-lapse camera kind of thing more, because I think it looks cool. And also, I'm learning vector art recently. Oh, that's... I just kind of want to use it in my videos more, so I can start, you know, putting more of that side out. Alright, so let's see, how much total stacks do we have? We're aiming for about 16-ish stacks. 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, we have enough. Now I just need to go collect trapdoors, buttons, logs, and all the way over there some sand for glass. So I'll meet with you when that's done. Alright, I am back. I have just collected everything I need. So now it is time to start making the actual thing. In order to do that, though, we have to find a spot in the ocean. The reason we're going to the ocean is because the ocean has no caves near it, or at least for a very long while, then that makes it so that the spawn rates are significantly increased. Plus, also, it's just easier to build farms in a flat plain such as the ocean. So that is where we are heading. I'll see you there. I'm also going to be making a nether portal travel way so that if I ever need to come back, I can get there as quick as possible. It'll be the start of Industrial District, whatever thing. The only farm there so far, though, is going to be the Creeper Farm. It's going to be a while before I add any others. Oh, and I've ran into a wall. I'll just see you then. Alright, I am fully set up and ready to start building. So let's, I guess, go do that. So, I'm a bozo, because I forgot to get the actual stuff to kill it. Round of applause, I know. So it'll be a bit. And the farm is complete. I ran it for a bit. I didn't get much, but as you can see from the rotten flesh and bones that are in there, I messed up the farm a bit. I have fixed the issues, but I still need to replace the snow golems that died. But it did work pretty well for the amount of time running. Let's see here. How much stacks of gunpowder did we end up getting? So we got about... So we have 9 per row. We got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... 15 and a half stacks of gunpowder for barely nothing. I think that's a good thing. I can AFK it later, but that gunpowder will last me 3 months, but I want to quickly explain the farm. So, there are supposed to be snow golems in here. Oh, oh, they spawned in because of how it worked. So, on each layer, they're the right distance from the snow golem so that they don't have to be like, so that they can shoot at the creepers. The creepers can come back to them in a reasonable amount of time, and they don't have a chance of exploding because of this 1 block barrier. The 2 trapdoors are to make it so that they can just fall through without any without being like, whoa, there's a pit there, because they see trapdoors as solid blocks. They don't realize that opened is not solid. And the buttons are here just so that there's no spawning around the golems, so nothing will spawn there. And the trapdoors on the ceiling are to prevent mobs taller than a creeper. And creepers are actually slightly shorter than a average mob, like a zombie or a skeleton. And on that note, we have these carpets here to stop spider spawns, because they're the only other mob that is shorter. And then the soul campfires are what kills them. We use soul campfires because it's cheap, and also it's the only thing it's regular campfires cost way too much. No, wrong way around. Regular campfires produce too much light, so these produce just a little less so that you don't have to build the thing higher. And then we just have 2 tracks of minecarts all funneling into the chests. And that's it. That's the whole farm design, basically. It's a pretty simplistic design, but it costs a lot of trapdoors, so it takes a little bit of grinding this. And anyways, now we're going to be heading on to our mine. Now, I originally wanted this mine shaft to be a more similar to a regular Wild West mine shaft, you know, the small little cramped one. But given the fact that I want to be able to fly into it with Elytra, I just think that's not gonna be possible, you know? So rather than doing a standard Wild West mine shaft, I will be going for, if you remember from the previous video where I got all the villagers, there's supposed to be this, like, ancient civilization kind of thing that was in this town area, but eventually disappeared, and this town was built on top of that. So I'm going to make it so that the mine was one of those buildings from the previous era. And I hope that since it's going to be, like, in the back of all the buildings, that it won't stand out as much, and the standing out will actually help it to be like a, what is this? This must be from a different time period, because it looks like nothing else besides that other thing over there, which is also from a different time period, you know. So I'm gonna have a bunch of lava, a bunch of tuff, everything similar to that hand thing. It'll have like 2 pillars at the entrance and like a mangrove rope bridge. And then when you go down into it, it'll have a bunch of chest storage for all my stones and stuff. And I'll have room for future, like, things I can do with it, adding more areas to that area. And just, like, maybe a trading hall for masons or something like that. But there's also going to be a lot of lava flowing, so that's how we're going to get the light in. We're going to have lava pillars, we're going to have lava ducts, those kind of things. That's how we're getting our lighting in. And there's also going to be tons of minecart tracks that are just zipping in and out through it. I always find those cool of, like, you see them randomly appear here, and then they're over there, and then they're over there, and it's like, how does that work? It's always cool to me, so I'm probably going to be making a bunch of those. But for this episode, I'm only really going to be focusing on the storage. I'll still add a bunch of those extra stuff, but I'm not going to add the extra things like what I said before of, like, the trading hall and stuff, because there simply is not enough time for that. Because I got to get this video out tomorrow. So that's fun. Let's go material gather. And I'll be back. Okay, so I have just finished gathering all the materials necessary. Probably not, actually. I may need to gather more while I'm building, because I don't actually know how much this will take. But this should be good enough to be able to start on the project. So as you see right now, I have the 2 pillars already outlined out. They're gonna go from here all the way up to about that, like, that white strip. They're gonna be around that tall, so that we have room to kind of present the actual mine entrance. So let's start designing these pillars. Okay, so I think about here. Yeah, that looks about right. So now all we have to do is just create the rest of the outline. Alright, so we're going to create the design on this pillar, and then we're just gonna copy it over there. So I'm thinking for the base, we're gonna do a bit of this kind of thing, where it has just a little bit of depth, if I can put this on right. Then we're just gonna kind of pillar up, and we're going to kind of bridge this over with another kind of thing like this. Let's see, how does that look? Pretty good. We're gonna add this as a, like, topper kind of thing. So yeah, that looks about right. I think actually we're gonna replace it with something like that. Then we're going to, let's see if we can. We're gonna try and add some chiseled tough. Oh, and maybe even possibly some chiseled tough bricks. So I'm thinking the first place that we can add them is here. And we add like these little extra things as a bit of flair. Like we just add them on the corners here to add a little interest to it. Now from far away you won't be able to notice these details as much, but these are the kind of details that just kind of make your build be more creative. I don't know the best word to describe it. And we're probably going to just do like this so that it's not going to be as cool or interesting as the first one, because actually we're going to make it so that they're like these this is going to be the center bit, but only really this side is going to have visible lava flowing down. Yeah, that's what we're putting at the top, lava flow, like the other one. So we're just gonna kind of build up, and that's it for that base, basically. Don't mind me falling, but I'm gonna definitely add things like we're gonna add some bricks there. Let's see, how does that look? Nah, I don't like it. So then if we go to the top, let me get on my firework rockets so that I can have an easier time. So let's just build this column, basically. Ooh, I'm dying. So we're just gonna build this up. Actually, let's do it more like all at once and not just basically jumping from a 20-story building every time I want to build the next pillar. Alright, I'll grab lava in a bit. However, I should be able to finish this off with just some regular old stairs to kind of, I don't know how to describe it, make it like an obelisk basically, just to kind of finish off the pillar design by adding it a little bit of curvature to the top. That looks pretty good. Except I'm not really liking these corners, so I might actually drop them down a bit. I first gotta see what it looks like, though. So that will be a second. Let's see. Yeah, I think that dropping down these corner bits is actually pretty good. And then we're going to here replace that with chiseled tough. And let's see, can I place in... Yeah, over here we're going to place in our chiseled tough bricks to add a little dividing line in the build to just kind of break up its silhouette. Not really silhouette, that's more for character design. This is more just breaking up the big blocks of color. I forgot for this one, it's actually supposed to be just regular chiseled tough. Now let's go to sleep and continue it in the morning. So I'm just gonna grab a few buckets of lava, and we're just gonna start pillaring up on these sides. So I kind of forgot, but we're supposed to add the little breakpoints. Is that around there? Yes. So we're just gonna build up to here, and we're gonna add these little bits just to help break up it so it's not fully just one thing. Alright, so right now we're just gonna be adding in the glass panes. And I need to quickly use this stone cutter to get more stairs, apparently. So now we have those in place. We can... Okay. Fly around to the top and place in our lava. Ooh. That was not great. But there is our first pillar done. Alright, yep, that is one pillar fully complete. Now let's just do that, but for the other side. Let's go. Alright, the two pillars are finally done. I think they're looking really good, especially because you'll just kind of see them mysteriously in this little alleyway kind of thing. So it kind of builds it up really nicely. But the only problem is I have pretty much run out of tuff, and this whole build is basically reliant on tuff. So let's go back to mining. I'll see you guys in a bit. Once I probably have gathered multiple shulkers of this, because I don't want to be running back again. Alright, I am back with the resources. We have an entire shulker box of tuff. I was originally going to go for 3, but I just didn't have the time. So we're just going to stick with this much for now. So what we're going to be doing is in the entrance, it's going to have a trim of waxed cut copper slabs and stuff. And then once we finally get down in there, we're going to have basically the same thing. Yeah, it's basically the entire floor is going to be tough bricks with waxed cut copper slabs trimming it. So, I mean, let's just get started. So right now, we're just gonna try to create like a nice gradual lowering. Like, we're not trying to make it as just a regular staircase, because we want to make this feel like very big and grandiose. Plus, also, it makes it easier to fly into, which is nice. Because that's the whole point of me making it this big of a thing. Alright, so I have dug out a major portion of this area. And I am now going to start detailing the walls, the ceiling, and just making this place look good. And then I'm going to start adding in the minecart tracks and like all those cool moving parts. So let's go to the detailing. So for this ceiling, I want it to be like slightly curved. Not really slightly, but just have it rounded. So that it just kind of feels like a tunnel rather than one big cube, you know? So I'm just gonna achieve that by just doing a bunch of different slabs. And I might actually replace this one with the waxed cut copper slabs. Let's see, how does that look? I think I'm gonna go with this one, just to have more trims and stuff. So, it's been a while since I last talked over a clip. You can probably tell by the fact that it's done and operational. I added this, like, I don't know how to describe it, like, the best way I can describe it is the Aztec pyramids, which I know it isn't, but it just feels similar to that. And I added these little mine carts that are going to go back and forth. Now, you'd think this one is just in a loop, but this one actually goes throughout the entire build. So over here, you can see them passing through here. Then you can see them passing over the lava. Then you can see them passing over the storage system and right back through here. I really love this. I'm really excited about expanding this whole mine shaft thing because of how cool I can make it with the minecarts being able to loop everywhere and have all these cool like animated parts of the build. Like I think eventually I might start adding copper golems and stuff just to add even more animation to these builds. But if I do that, I have to put them somewhere else cuz you know, they see this as the holy grail, you know. But I do also want to eventually make it so that I can add copper golem sorting to this, to the back of that, because I think that would be really useful for me. So I can just put all the stones in like a chest like here, and it'll all automatically sort. That'd be really good. I haven't put any of the stones away yet. I'm going to do that after this video is done, but this is the general kind of layout. We have stone, andesite, diorite, granite, tuff, deep slate, blackstone, dripstone, mud slash dirt. Actually, I think eventually I'm going to create an entire building for dirt because of how much you get. Then we have bricks, netherrack, endstone, and obsidian, which I don't know if it's just going to be obsidian because this is a lot of storage for just obsidian, but I might add a few others tacked on to it, like special things to go with it. But this is the storage system all set up. I no longer have to just use the chest put into that little frame thing. I think I'm really excited about this. Ooh, I'm gonna need to fix that, but that's gonna happen later. I'm really excited about this because it I feel like I can now add so much more lore to this world, because obviously the same people who built that did not build this, you know? And I can just add all the cool stuff. Even more glass I didn't put in. Damn. Yeah, I need to fix that, but I also really like how it kind of relates back to my first video, which do not watch. It sucks so much. I used like stock images and it's 2 minutes long. Not even stock images. I just stole stuff off the internet. Do not watch it. I have bad mic quality. I sound bad. Just don't. But in it, I create a new style, which at the time I was just kind of doing whatever, you know? But I think this actually represents it a lot. I called it lava punk, which everything is fueled by lava, and as you can see, lava has a very big emphasis in this build, it being the light source of the build. And the build's style used a lot of copper, tuff, deep slate, and all those things. And I think soon I'm going to add like some lava pillars, like just in the center of these, so that I can actually like add more light to this place and a little bit more complexity to this like corridor, because right now it is just a corridor. There isn't much here. And also, if you notice here, we also have like little detailings on the corners. Like, I added a lot to this. I might need to change this up to kind of match this side, because there isn't the details here. But I do like this chest wall. Look at the chest wall. I don't know why, but just seeing a giant chest wall is actually kind of scratching my brain, whatever stuff, because usually I think it's disgusting looking, but I think I made it in a way that it's not like the absurd just placing it wherever. This actually has like, you know, it makes it like its own separate room, and I don't know how to describe it, but I made it so that it looks good and not just like you just went into a random corner and started placing sideways chests, because I usually hate the look of sideways chests. But this looks good. I like this. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Leave suggestions and comments, and goodbye.